Howdy and hello everyone, I'm Lettucey, you're the viewer, and you're probably thinking, Lettucey, you just uploaded a video yesterday to this channel, why are you uploading another one? One, because gaming channels go irrelevant really quickly, so if you don't upload a video for like a day, then people will stop watching. That, and also, I just can't get enough of this game. It's a really fun game. So, last time we practically finished the Kitty Land, and we were almost done with the Western Land. I am now going to be I am building the park entrance, as you can see right now. And also something, I don't seem, if it doesn't seem like my voice tone is fitting with the music that's, coming, then, that's because I can't actually hear the music right now. I'm just hearing quiet, even though I already added it in. So, yeah, that's something. So, just a few updates before, I start talking about something different. Oh wait, hold on. First, I had to talk about how I don't like doing terrain that much. Because I used to do, like, blocky terrain, like I'm doing here. But, I'm just doing that as, like, to kind of get the shape that I want. And then I'm gonna smooth it all out. But the problem is, I really do not like the smoothing part, but I want my terrain to actually look decent. So, yeah, I don't really like doing terrain work, but as I always say, I love framework. Framework is just the best thing you could ever think of. It's just, oh, I love it. It's just, it all just goes like click, and it's just, that's probably why I love the support structure of wooden coasters. It's literally just a big giant piece of framework. Just like, oh, I love it. I just love it. It just all looks like it fits together. It looks like it was meant to be. It's just, oh, I love it. I love it so much. Oh. So if you want to know how I'm editing these videos, by the way, I'm editing them with Camtasia, hashtag not sponsored. Is that still a thing anymore? Hashtag not sponsored? I don't want to try and make it a thing again. I want videos to be timeless. Timeless videos are the best videos, because if your videos are based off of a certain trend, they're gonna be dead in like 3 weeks. That's why now if you look at any video with a fidget spinner in it, then you'll immediately die from cringing, because it's just, well, I mean, like, fidget spinners were like a thing for about, what, a month, a week, a day? Just like, memes and trends come so quickly and then they die so fast. Only good memes and good trends stay. For example, Doge, that and Pepe the frog. Well, I mean, like, Pepe kind of died because people were starting to use him in bad things. But Doge, he's still relevant because, you know, you can make him into anything. He's just a dog that you can do with anything. For example, the Buff Doge meme that I'm pretty sure has already died by now. Wah, wah, wah. See, that's an example of a good meme. Good memes, they stay forever. But, for example, memes that aren't really that, well, good, or, well, memes that were good for, like, a moment. Yawn, sorry. I woke up, like, an hour ago, so I'm still pretty tired. But, for example, memes that are, like, again, the fidget spinners, that was a trend, but fidget spinners, they were cool, but then they went away. You have to make a meme that can be made into something, that can be just used anywhere, and that's how you make a good, fresh meme. I should probably stop talking about this now, because I'm probably making some people do stuff. That made no sense. Well, anyways, as you can see, I just made a bunch of terrain, placed some trees on it, and made the entrance sign. By the way, I'm naming this park Adventure World, because It's a world of adventure. Yes, this world of adventure only has 2 lands, but I'm waiting for July 1st so I can get more Robux. And now, also, you in the comments can recommend the next coaster I'll do, because I actually have no idea currently. I'm thinking I want it to be a launch coaster. But if you think you have a better idea than that, then you say that. Wait, but then again... Actually, I think I have an idea. I have a little bit of a story to tell. So, I have other parks that I'll probably tour you, the viewer, through one day. Probably tomorrow. And, all of them have a ride called Flyer, and they're all the same, just with a different layout. They're all steel coasters, like the normal steel coaster in this game. They're all have the same color scheme, which is blue and sometimes green. Well, blue, they always have some blue in them, and sometimes they'll have green in them. And, one of them only has green. And, they're always, like, themed to a bird, because they're called Flyer. So I think, to continue the trend, we should make another coaster called Flyer. And since I think the steel coaster looks a lot like Arrow's track, I'm gonna make it an Arrow Looper. But not just any Arrow Looper, an Arrow Mega Looper. So it's gonna be really tall. Probably as tall as the wooden coaster. Whoa, Outlaw. Yeah, probably as tall as Outlaw. So here I'm just making a mesa for my little western area. And then here I'm going to, because I noticed that the mesa was a little too flat. I had to make it, because you know how mesas don't just immediately go flat right at the top. They have a little bit of curvature before they go completely flat. So, I had to make that little piece of curvature. And boop, now we have ourselves a mesa. And then I also had to, do up that little piece of rock right there, so it looked a little more natural. You want to make it like nature made it. You want to make it look like that. And boom, we've got ourselves a western themed area. Oh yeah. You know how yesterday, well, last episode, oh yeah, here I accidentally made a bunch of, I thought that the paint was block, I had block manipulation, but it should have been paint. You know how last episode I said, why don't we have a merry-go-round for the western area? Well, this episode I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have a merry-go-round for the western area. And it's gonna fit right next to that livery stable. Because I thought it was a good spot. I will be probably expanding Tumbleweed Grove, in fact, probably in the next episode of this series, because tomorrow I think I'm just going to, like, tour you around some of my other parks, and then, next episode, I'm going to have, next episode, I'm probably going to expand that. But, because I always like to sprinkle realism into my parks, I'm having walls blocking people off from going into ride-only areas because we don't want any sort of lawsuit because, you know, people want to retrieve their hats from a ride. Again, if you ever lose your hat on a ride, don't go into the ride area. Don't climb over multiple fences that say, warning, ride restricted area. That means that the ride is going to go through there and you could possibly die because, you know, the ride does not have brakes. Despite what many people say, rides do not run on engines. Most of them, well, flat rides, most of the time they run on electricity. But, roller coasters, they mostly run on, gravity. They just have a little bit of a boost, or they mostly just have a lift hill or a launch to get them started. It's just... So, roller coasters, they cannot stop for you. You just need to not just accept the fact that you really should not have brought your hat onto a roller coaster, and that you're probably never getting it back. And also, don't take your phone on a roller coaster. Don't try to record it. Either have a GoPro or something like that that can stick to your what's it called? How am I speaking all these advanced terms for roller coasters, but I can't remember the word for chest. That can either be stuck on your chest or your arm, so that way it doesn't go flying off, because roller coasters, I've noticed that whenever I go on any, if you get some sort of, like, airtime, but you're stapled, your arm, for some reason, it just makes the muscles in your body just go. So you let go of your phone flies, and it falls to the ground and breaks. Some ride operators that are YouTubers have told their, viewers that when they were working on rides, they have found multiple smashed phones from people not listening to the ride spiels to keep everything in a sealed pocket or in a locker. People, listen to the ride operators. You want to know why they tell you that information? Because it's for your own good, or your own stuff's good. Oh my gosh, sorry, I just had to get that out of my system, because I do not like it when people give misinformation about coasters, because, you know, I'm a coaster, I want to be a coaster enthusiast. Problem is, money, you need to have a lot of money to go to different parks. But, I like to ride SeaWorld's coasters. This is Belmont, the Giant Dipper, it's actually a pretty decent ride for a 95-year-old roller coaster. That is actually pretty darn good. It's not that it is rough. It is rough though. You can get some actually decent floater airtime, but you can't. It's basically it is really rough on, like, right on the first curve drop. The first drop, you get, like, jackhammered into your seat there, and it always feels like I'm gonna break my neck there, cause, you know, G-forces. But for a 95-year-old roller coaster, it's actually kind of smooth for a 95-year-old roller coaster. That just tells you how much Belmont is willing to, keep this thing alive. In fact, it almost got torn down with the park itself, because the park closed, but it almost got torn down with the park. But they decided to keep it, because I don't think anyone would have liked it if they replaced a theme park, a small, local theme park with a nice, just normal park. I mean, like, it would have been nice and peaceful, but I think we'd all rather have some fun than just sit and look at birds. Some people may like that, but honestly, I'd rather have the Giant Dipper. So, yeah, we have the Giant Dipper. Okay, enough talking about roller coasters. Now more about what I'm doing. I am building the sign for the park, because, you know, we haven't really built it yet. By the way, if these videos are extremely blurry, that's because, for some reason, YouTube likes to set my videos down to 320p, so if you could just, like, set that to 1080p to make it actually good quality, because it likes to do that for some reason. I don't know why it does that. Anyways, just a little thing, I'm going to be uploading on this channel every single day, so if you want new videos, they will be every single day. By the way, I'm going to work on one series at a time, so I'm going to be working on this series. And then once I get past the main point of it, because I'll probably be working on the series for a really long time, once I get past, like, the main part of it, where, like, it's just, whoa, we made a good theme park. Once I really get to, like, the good status for a theme park, then that's when I'll start up on other series. So probably by, like, episode 20 or something, I'll be able to, like, do it. But here's really good news. We just opened the park! And yes, it's extremely small, so there are only like 15 people in the park. But like I said, next episode in the series, we will be adding a new ride to the park. We will be adding a new section to the park, probably expanding the western area, and probably start on the sci-fi area. So, hey, that'll be pretty good. Because I ran out of money very quickly with that wooden coaster, Outlaw. And here, I saw some people getting on to Outlaw, so I decided, oh boy, I gotta ride it, but then I didn't, but then I had to try and get over the fence. And I failed multiple times trying to do parkour, and then I realized I could just go around the merry-go-round side. So I ended up getting back row on the ride, but honestly, I think back row is the best row on coasters because you get the most, like, airtime and intensity. So, here's the wooden coat, here's Outlaw in the back row. Okay then, so, we're coming up to the end of the video. In fact, we just did. So, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Like you over on screen, leave a like. And I was Lettucey, you were the viewer, and I'll see you in the future. Good.